the Soulspees. My name is Rachel Nance. I'm a student with Pfeiffer University's PA program. I'm here today to discuss any problems that you have. But before we get started, I'm going to wash my hands, okay? Alright. Now, is there anything I can get you to make you more comfortable?
No, I'm doing great, thank you.
Alright, I normally would shake your hand, but since we got this virus going around, I'm not going to. Okay?
That's smart, thank you.
Alright. Okay, so what brings you in today?
So I have been having this kind of like weird discharge. It started a little bit ago, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything major. Also, I haven't had a period in a while, so that's a little concerning. I might be pregnant.
Okay. Alright, so when you're saying discharge, can you tell me about how long this has been going on?
Probably about a week and a half.
Now, can you describe like the color for me?
It's like whitish, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe yellow, mostly white.
White mostly. Okay. Alright, now is it constant or does it kind of come and go?
Yeah, it's pretty much all day long.
Okay. Now, this next question might seem a little bit weird, but does it have kind of an odd smell to it?
Yeah, maybe a little.
A little bit, okay. Alright, and have you had this happen before?
Not that I can remember.
Okay. Alright, are you having any pain at all that kind of comes along with it?
No, not really.
Okay. What about, are you having any kind of like itching or scratchiness like in the vaginal canal or on the outside?
No.
No, not really. Okay. Alright. Now,
Actually, sometimes I'm having some itching.
sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Alright, so you mentioned that you think you might possibly be pregnant. So what kind of is leading you to think that besides the missing a period?
I guess that's one of the main things. I've been feeling kind of like bloated.
Okay.
I didn't know if that was like diet related. And like my breasts have been kind of tender.
Okay.
But I didn't know if that was because I was about to get my period, so I just didn't know. And I figured since I was already coming in for this, that I might as well tell you about it.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Now, when was your last period that you can remember?
I think it was February 7th. I think, yeah.
All right. So, when was your last sexual encounter?
It was probably about a month before, sometime at the end of or beginning of January.
Okay. And was this encounter protected or unprotected?
Unprotected.
All right. Now, is this someone you're having a relationship with?
No, it was just a one-time thing.
Okay. All right. Have you had any other sexual partners, within like the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Okay. When you say a few, can you give me kind of a guesstimate of the number?
Probably like four.
Okay.
4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, every time that you have encounters, are they protected, unprotected?
Both. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other.
It just kind of depends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask you a couple more questions here. Okay. Just try to bear with me. It's a little lengthy. So are you tired at all? Have you noticed you're a little bit more exhausted than normal?
Yeah, a little bit.
Have you noticed any like weight gain or like a weight loss?
Well, I had some weight gain kind of recently, but not a ton.
Not a ton. So when you say recently, how long ago?
Well, a long time ago, I had gotten some weight gain from the birth control shots I've been given.
Okay.
And I've kind of like gotten back down to my normal weight, but past 2 weeks it's been a little bit more. But I think that's because of the bloating.
Okay. All right. So you say you had birth control shots before. How long ago did you start?
I think it was 18 months, but I only had one of them because I didn't like the weight gain, so I just didn't go back.
Okay. And where did you receive these? Was it at like a doctor's office or?
It was at. I'm trying to think of the place. It was at the health department.
The health department. Okay. So normally, when someone gets put on like birth control or something like that, they also kind of have an exam. So have you had like a pap smear or anything like that recently?
Yeah, they went ahead and did that when I was at the health department.
So at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. I got a couple more questions for you. So are you vomiting at all?
No, but I'm really nauseous.
You're nauseous. Okay. What about, are you having any kind of blood in your urine?
No, not that I can remember.
Okay. What about if you urinate? Is it painful at all? all?
No.
Okay. And then have you noticed that you're having to go use the restroom more often than previously?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Now you mentioned previously you're having breast tenderness.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed any kind of lumps or bumps there?
No, not that.
Are you having any discharge from like your nipular area at all? Okay. All right. So you mentioned that you're nauseated a good little bit. Are you taking any kind of medication to help with the nausea?
No, it normally goes away pretty quickly, or if I eat breakfast, that sometimes helps.
Okay. What about are you allergic to any medication?
Not that I know of.
What about any like environmental stuff like dog hair, grass, pollen?
Not that I've encountered.
Okay. Or any food allergies?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Now, are you currently kind of being treated for any other problems?
Nope, I'm pretty healthy other than this stuff.
Okay. Alright, so I want to get to learn a little bit more about you as a person, okay? So are you still currently in school?
I am.
Oh, awesome.
About to graduate. Wow. Hopefully, if coronavirus lets me graduate.
No, I understand that can be very stressful right now. So what are you planning to do after you graduate?
I'm actually going to go to NC State University.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you know what you want to major in yet?
Who knows? Maybe something medical. This sounds kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
For sure.
Alright, so who do you currently live with since you're still in high school right now?
I'm living at home with my mom, and then my brother and my sister are also there.
Okay. Now you didn't mention your father. Is he still?
He's been in and out of our lives,
So
so he's not living with us right now.
he's not currently living with you. Okay. Alright, so these next questions I have for you are a little personal. Just try to be open and honest with me about them so I can learn a little bit more about you as a person, but also as our situation here, okay? Alright, now do you drink any kind of alcohol at all?
No.
Now what about, do you use any kind of tobacco products?
I've smoked cigarettes before, but not a lot.
Not a lot. So let's say when you do smoke, how many do you smoke?
Like 1 or 2 every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. And now how long have you been smoking?
Just 6 months.
6 months, okay. And when was the last time that you smoked a cigarette?
It's been about 3 months.
About 3 months. It's been a good little while.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't do it that often.
Okay. What about any kind of drug use, like marijuana, prescription pills, anything like that?
I smoke weed with my friends 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay. And how long have you been smoking?
Probably about the same 6 months.
About 6 months or so, okay. And when's the last time that you smoked marijuana?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Alright. Now, what about caffeine use? Do you drink like coffee, tea, soda?
Yeah, I have coffee in the mornings, and then I'll drink a soda sometimes.
Is that pretty normal for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So, now have you had any other kind of like past medical problems, like you were put in the hospital or surgeries or anything I should be aware of?
So I had a previous abortion.
Okay.
I don't know if that counts.
It does. So how long ago was it?
That was about, I think 2 years ago.
Okay, about 2 years ago. So how far along were you in the pregnancy when the procedure occurred?
I think it was about 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay. Did you have any problems kind of develop after?
Yeah, I had a lot of bleeding afterwards, so I had to be hospitalized.
So when you say hospitalized, what all did they do for you? Do you remember?
They had to give me a blood transfusion.
Alright, and then how long were you in the hospital?
I think it was about a week.
About a week or so, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I know that could be pretty tough and a little bit traumatizing to be there for that long. Alright, so you mentioned earlier that you live with your mom. Does she have any kind of medical problems that you know of?
Not that I can think. Not that I know of, yeah.
Okay, what about your father? I know you mentioned you guys kind of have a strained relationship, but do you know anything about his medical?
No, I don't know much. I mean, he's an alcoholic, so.
Alright, and then what about your grandparents? Are they still, all 4 of them, alive?
They're all still alive, but I don't think they have any problems. My mom hasn't told me anything.
So you're not aware of any problems?
Not aware of anything.
Alright. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do a couple tests. I'm going to have my nurse come in, and then once we have the test results, I'll come right back in and we'll talk with you about them, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so I'm back, okay? We're going to talk about some of your test results here today, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so what I want to let you know is you did test positive for chlamydia, but you also tested positive on the pregnancy test, okay?
Okay.
I understand that can be a little bit overwhelming, okay? I just don't want to stress you out any further, but if you don't mind, I'd like to talk you through some of the things we got going on here today, if that's okay. Alright, excuse me. So the first thing I want to talk with you about is the chlamydia, okay? I don't want you to get too upset over this. It's a pretty common sexually transmitted disease. Most people that have it don't even know they have it. That's why it's kind of getting spread around as much as it is. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give you a 1-dose treatment. It's called azithromycin. It's a pretty strong medication. Some people may feel like a little bit of a tummy upset with it, but it's nothing to be worried about. Excuse me. It's perfectly safe to take while you're pregnant, so there's no concern there.
Okay.
What I do want to talk with you about, though, is kind of preventative measures for future uses, and especially like sexual interactions. So the main thing would be to use condoms every time you have a sexual encounter. That'll drastically decrease your risk of contracting not only this type of sexually transmitted disease, but also other sexually transmitted diseases in the future. Additionally, practicing monogamy, that's where you only have sexual relations with one person throughout a period of time, that can drastically reduce your risk of getting sexually transmitted diseases as well. One unfortunate thing I have to let you know, though, is that I have to report, since you tested positive for chlamydia, to the public health department. Okay? But what I kind of need you to do for me is I need you to contact anyone you've had sexual encounters with, probably I would say the last 6 months or so, and let them know that you've tested positive and there's potential that they have been exposed, because you said sometimes you use condoms, sometimes you didn't. So I would just let everyone know to go get tested. That way they're aware of their kind of diagnosis and situation, okay? Do you have any questions as far as that goes?
No.
Alright, okay, so we're going to talk now about the pregnancy, okay? So you said your last period was February 7th, so that's like a month and a half ago or so. So if we do the math, you're about 7.5, 8 weeks along, okay? And then if you were to follow through with the delivery, you would deliver in November, okay? Alright, so would you like to talk through your options as far as the pregnancy?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Okay. So the first option is to carry the baby full term, deliver it, and then raise the child how you see fit. The second option is to deliver the child, and then you would place it for adoption. There's numerous kind of adoption agencies that you can go through, and if that's the route you decide to take, we can get you in contact with those offices. And then lastly, the option is abortion. I know you mentioned you previously had one. There might be some concern or risk as far as another bleeding occurring like you had previously. That's just something that you need to be aware of, okay? Additionally, here in North Carolina, since you are under 18, you're still technically considered a minor.
Right.
So that would mean you would have to have a parent sign off on the abortion, okay? There's a couple other things. So here in North Carolina, you need to give, let's say, like 72 hours, about 3 days or so, between this conversation and then we're going to set you up for our next office visit, about 72 to 3 days from now. And then we're going to discuss, your final decision. That's something that North Carolina has put a law in place for us to do, so we just kind of have to abide by those rules. Additionally, the options for abortion, because that seems like you're kind of leaning more towards that direction, there's kind of 2 different options that could go down. So the first one would be, it's called essentially an abortion kind of in a pill, but that would have to be done before the 9 weeks, okay? The second option would be the in-clinic or in kind of house office abortion, but that has to happen before the 20 weeks. So those are just some numbers to keep in mind when you're thinking about this for the next 3 days or so, okay? All right, do you have any questions for me? I know that's a lot of information kind of thrown at you at once, and it can be overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just take the next 3 days to kind of think it over, and if I have any questions, I'll just let you know.
Okay, great. I have one more thing I want to talk with you about, and I promise I'll leave you alone. Okay. All right, so you mentioned that you smoke tobacco, which is like cigarettes and things like that, and then you also use marijuana. Are you interested in kind of cutting back on those habits?
Not really. I use it as stress relief, so for right now, I think I'm probably going to continue with that.
Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to step out, I'm going to get you some pamphlets, some information about everything we've covered today. That way you can go home and look at it and just sit down and think. Because I know I probably threw stuff out at you that you won't remember. But if you walk out of here today with more questions or you just think of anything when you're at home, you can just give us a call. Or if you want to wait till the 3 days when I'm going to see you again, we can talk about it then. Totally up to you. Do you have any other questions for me?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No.
Alright, well, it's very nice to meet you, Miss Silsby. Hope you have a great rest of your week. I'll see you back in 3 days.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you then.
Alright.